Alongside the insiders, Darren Dreger, Pierre LeBrun, and Chris Johnston. Gentlemen, on Friday, Larry Brooks put out an article in the New York Post suggesting that the New York Rangers were targeting Brady Tkachuk, trying to bring him into their fold, something that Michael Andlauer was not very happy about, Pierre.
No, he certainly didn't mince words on this day. I had a chance to do a sit-down with him for The Athletic, and of course part of the interview was on Brady Tkachuk, given the waves that story created last week. And what he said twice is that he regarded that entire story, whatever form that it came out of New York, as, quote, soft tampering, a pretty significant charge from the Senators' owner. At the end of the day, I think Michael Andlauer is trying to protect his captain. This is a third time in 12 months that there have been Brady Tkachuk trade rumors. The Senators are sick of it, and they want to make it clear, as Andlauer told me, the Senators have not spoken to one single team in the National Hockey League about Brady Tkachuk, and they have no intention in doing so. What I will tell you is the Rangers sent me a statement and sent others a statement vehemently denying any kind of tampering charge. The National Hockey League got involved. They spoke to both the Rangers and the Senators on this day, and I'm told that Bill Daly, the deputy commissioner, had a chat with Michael Andlauer after the Board of Governors meeting and basically said, at this point, there is no basis for the league to get involved and to further investigate because they don't believe there's any proof of tampering. That's where it sits now.
Well, and there may be no way to push this specific issue forward, but clearly this is a theme, right? And tampering has become something that's getting discussed a lot more behind the scenes. I mean, Bill Daly brought it up with the GMs in November, and there was a memo in late November reminding teams of the penalties, which include, draft picks potentially being taken away, fines to the team, and perhaps even a GM that's caught of tampering. And so, this kind of heightens the issue. I do think, there might not be any, might end here with regards to Tkachuk specifically. I don't think the broader discussion ends here. And there are certainly people on both sides of this specific argument within that room. And so, I think tampering itself is something the league is going to have to continue to look at. And if it gets raised again, maybe eventually we're going to see someone actually punished for it.
Other significant news on day one of the Board of Governors meetings came from the executive committee that actually opened the meetings first thing in the morning. And a real sense of optimism when it comes to the collective bargaining agreement, because nobody wants another work stoppage, Dregs.
No, there's labor peace right now, and I think both the National Hockey League, the owners, certainly the Players Association, recognize the value in that moving forward. And it was more of a briefing as to what the timeline, the expectancy of when the negotiations between the league and the Players Association might commence. But there's a heightened level of optimism as to when they think an agreement can be in place, and I'm told that could be as early as the Stanley Cup final. Now, that's assuming the negotiations go as expected with both sides in tune. Now, that being said, there are some issues that I think certain owners are going to want to push. I believe that there will be some form of salary cap in the Stanley Cup playoffs to eliminate all of the cloudiness around the LTIR issue going in. So I think that'll get pushed through in some way, shape, or form. There's also an expectation that they'll have conversation about an equalization of taxation in certain jurisdictions, right? That's the tax-friendly states and whether or not they have the upper hand. Some owners might push for that, but I doubt very much that makes its way through as part of the new agreement.
And guys, we had a special guest appearance on day one. The great one, Wayne Gretzky, dropped by. Apparently he lives just about 10 minutes away from here. That wasn't the reason he was here. He didn't just accidentally drop by. He's excited about the OV chase, which right now is temporarily put on hold. But as excited as he is, it looks like the NHL is already planning for how they want to mark that occasion.
Absolutely, and it's a reminder of how close he is, right? Yeah. 26 goals from matching Wayne Gretzky's all-time goals record. When he comes back, perhaps as early as next week or perhaps after Christmas, he's going to have about 48 to 52 games. There was a meeting with Washington Capitals owner Ted Leonsis, other senior members of the organization, Bill Daly, Gary Bettman. They're going over how the league might approach this goal chase. And so just a reminder, that hot start to the season has made this more of a front-burner issue than it might otherwise have been.
Looking ahead to day two of the meetings, they're going to talk salary cap, and that always generates a ton of interest.